when the world ended, Celadon was born. Many regions have lore-keepers, elders and the like, people who keep track of the ancient stories and make sure they're passed down from generation to generation. But not this region. It's only after years and years of research, of digging, of investigating ancient ruins, deciphering ancient texts that we've been able to piece together some semblance of a story. There are no eyewitness accounts, not even to the 4th, 5th, nth generation. It's as though not a single human witnessed the event. Or perhaps it happened before humanity existed. No one is sure why the cataclysm happened. Some say it was meteors from space. Some say a gigantic earthquake. Others claim it was the work of legendary Pokemon. What has made itself clear is that amidst the destruction, there were forces working to preserve the life forms of the dying world. We found countless organisms we shouldn't have been able to bring back to life, not if they were regular fossils, not if they were fossils of creatures actually dead. And yet, here at the Genesis Corporation, we've come to understand these creatures did not die naturally. In fact, they didn't die at all. Instead, these fossilized creatures were chosen by legendary Pokemon, chosen to live, to be kept in stasis until humans could gift them new life, kept in stasis by the legendary Preservation Trio. Now, as many know, the most common fossils throughout the Pokemon world are those encased in stone, fossilized by the legendary being of the ground, Celadon. Celadon has most often been sighted in Celadon's Haunted Desert, but there have also been sightings in the Alpenglow Labyrinth and the Deep Coffin Catacombs. Some Gen Corp staff have witnessed the Pokemon summoning and controlling sand to entomb prey or enemies, but our theory is that it once used these same mystical sands to preserve the prehistoric Pokemon it chose for new life. We're still not sure if the process only worked on Rock-type Pokemon, or if it somehow transformed the recipients into Rock types. I've read some reports from Galar about Pokemon revived from stone that didn't emerge as rock types, but the author doesn't exactly have a lot of credibility in the scientific community. Fossils in stone are of course not the only fossilized remains to be found in Celadon. In fact, our earliest discoveries were in Deep Freeze Cave, where we uncovered Pokemon snap frozen in magical life-preserving ice. This, we've learned, was the work of the legendary being of the mountains, Thikrasone. Thikrasone can draw water from air, freezing it into an icy webbing which it spins and weaves expertly. We theorize it uses this tactic for catching prey, but was also able to use it to preserve several species of Pokemon during the Great Cataclysm. Some reports state that it does not even need to be in contact with its target to embalm them, simply pulling ice from the air and controlling it remotely with its mind. And that brings us to the strangest of all the fossils we've discovered. The ambers. Most of the fossilized ambers we've found contain unreadable, unusable cell material. In fact, the only Pokemon we found preserved well enough to restore have been Venekito, petrified and atrophied until almost unrecognizable. However, in some of these cases, we've been able to draw out DNA not just of Venekito, but of its last meal. And this has allowed us to revive or recreate, we're really not sure which, Pokemon such as Aerodactyl and Therasile. Cawthorone took much longer to find, has been sighted far less, and is the member of the trio we understand the least about. We attribute the creation of the amber fossils to this legendary being of the jungle, but we still don't really understand what went wrong. It's as though Cawthorone tried to do what its compatriots did, but just didn't quite manage the process. Some of our scientists reason it would have been harder to draw out and control tree sap, since the right trees needed to be present, as opposed to summoning sand from the ground or water from the air. Others believe Cawthorone deliberately only preserved Venekito as a way of more accurately preserving the DNA of those it chose. But no answer completely makes sense, and neither explain the presence of the unreadable ambers. There are still so many unanswered questions. Did these Pokemon seek to preserve every life form that existed at the time? Or were only specific Pokemon chosen? Why were they seeking to preserve the Pokemon of their age at all? And what exactly were they preserving them from? Of course, we at the Genesis Corporation are open to any and all theories, so please post your ideas as we all seek to uncover more of this mystery together.
What's cracking YouTube? Neck Punch here. Hey, I just wanted to say a massive thank you for 1,000 subscribers. I know not everybody who is subscribed still watches the channel, but the fact that at some point 1,000 people said, yes, I like this, I want to see more with regard to my stuff, is pretty flippin' amazing. And to those of you who are still watching, I especially appreciate you.
And a huge thank you to Dead Bedspread. I'm a bad friend, so I forgot to say this when I recorded, but I know a lot of people have found my channel because of him, through his channel or through him recommending me, so a huge thanks, my dude, for collaborating with me and sending people my way. You're amazing.
After 4 years, I figured I probably owed you guys some legendaries, so here we are. Please let me know what you think of the trio. I actually designed these Pokemon back in 2015, where I designed them in sprite form, but I've just been sitting on them until now because, to be honest, I've not known whether or not I think they're actually good enough. I generally don't worry about how my mons are going to be received. In fact, most of the time, I'm pretty keen to just lean into the fact that most of my Pokemon don't really look like traditional Pokemon. But for some reason with the legendaries, I really wanted to make sure that they were convincing, and with this trio, I'm just not convinced that they are. But I don't actually know what's wrong with them or how to fix them, so instead of trying to redesign them, I've just had them sitting there. All that to say, consider these first drafts of Pokemon Amber's first legendary trio. I would really love any constructive feedback that you guys have got. Love is probably a strong word. I'm probably going to hate getting feedback, but please give it because it will be good for me. It'll be a healthy thing. I've been really nervous about sharing these Pokemon, but I think hitting 1K has been the push that I've needed to just suck it up, face my fear, and put them out there. So be gentle, but do be honest. And together, let's turn this trio into 3 really cool legendary Pokemon. That's it from me for now. Thanks again so much for 1,000 subscribers. It really does mean the world to me that there are that many people who just have enjoyed connecting with my content. So until next time, my name is Neck Punch. Have a good one.